Did you record?
No, not yet.
We're back. What is this, episode 13? I forget.
Crap. Should have asked before we started.
Right. Now, we're back. Welcome back. This is episode 13 of the Targeted Podcast. I'm Nicholas. That's Zahid.
Yo.
And tonight, we're talking about the Super Bowl and just the football in general. I mean, obviously, as a disgruntled Eagles fan, I have a lot to get off my chest with what's happening. So, yeah, man, let's get right into it.
Yeah. Sorry for a little bit of delay, guys, by the way. Just a little bit of technical difficulties. New people working on, like, different tasks, and that's a phone call.
Wow.
This is so professional.
Professionalism is seriously lacking here, man.
Yeah. And here we go. Okay, let's do this.
So, yeah, the Chiefs, let's put it like this. I was expecting a better game. I'll put it like that. I was definitely rooting against Tom Brady. I'm not a Tom Brady fan. I recognize the greatness, though. I mean, that's the GOAT. Can't deny it. Okay, there's no argument against it.
Yeah.
It's the best quarterback of all time. It is what it is.
It's so funny that you say that because I was trying my best for Drew Brees to somehow make an argument for that. Like, but
You can't.
I can't. Well, he lost. Just straight up. When they played, he lost. He threw like 2 interceptions. And yeah. So I'm just
I mean, I want Aaron Rodgers to be in the conversation more, but he just hasn't, he hasn't won Super Bowl. He hasn't won enough. I think he has the talent.
He has won one Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah, he's only got one. But,
So is Drew Brees.
TV has 7. So, there's no argument. But for this game, Tom Brady did not win. Right? It was more his defense.
Yeah.
The defense was the game.
Well,
so,
his defense or the lack of Kansas City offense, right?
I won't even say. See, I don't even like saying his defense. I'll say the Bucs defense.
Yes.
Okay? Tom Brady just throws the ball. All right. But
you do 2 touchdowns.
The Bucs defense, they shut down the Chiefs. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought the Chiefs had way too many weapons. Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, Hilaire. I mean, even my guy Shady McCoy is there for the ride. The guy got himself a ring. He actually got a ring last year too. So he's just like riding the pine.
Yeah. I think I saw a meme that said he has 0 snaps, 2 rings. 0 snaps, 2 rings.
Hey, I'm not mad at it, man.
Yeah.
This just goes. I mean, the Eagles always cut people like way too early. You know. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But
I want to talk a little bit about like Tom Brady right quick. So, and just the greatness of Tom Brady, because I'm like you. I'm not a fan of him, right? But I can't deny the greatness, right?
No, can't.
I was at a friend's house, like a small group of people, at a friend's place watching the Super Bowl. And I mean, I like to debate a little bit, and he likes to debate. And we were debating until like the game hasn't been over, like hasn't started yet. We're debating like Tom Brady, the greatness of Tom Brady, right? And I was saying, well, maybe if Drew Brees had beat the Saints, if the Saints had beaten Tom Brady and made the Super Bowl, there may have been a case for Drew Brees making the Super Bowl. And I was just thinking about that argument I was making, and I'm arguing a hypothetical situation.
Exactly.
I'm arguing a fake situation that did not happen.
Yeah.
Like I can't make anything up. I can't. He's the GOAT. Like, and that's how it is. You have to accept it. And Tom Brady, middle-aged white guy, super rich, beautiful wife, has it all. So, like, not the underdog that people try to make him out to be, but you can't deny what he is. And yeah, congrats to him.
He did his thing.
Yeah, I think he threw 3 touchdowns. I think so.
Yeah, I mean, with the help of the refs, too. So you can't forget about that. I think they get some MVP consideration for that game as well.
Yeah.
Holding calls or just so. I mean, yeah, Kansas City kind of did it to themselves. I mean, you can't argue the fact that they were holding a lot.
Yeah, they were holding a lot. Their offensive line, so I was watching highly questionable.
Offensive line was trash that night.
So I was watching a highly questionable. Bomani Jones is like one of my favorite sports writers, and he was like, yeah, it's like it was pretty much the Tampa Bay defense and a bunch of dudes that eat too much tacos. Like it was literally Patrick Mahomes to say, "Hey," and he started running for his life.
Like, yeah, he had to drop back like 10, 15, 20 yards on like every other play.
And the crazy thing is, the way he was running, like, and just throwing the ball, they were accurate. Like, they were catchable. Those.
Let's talk about. There was one play he runs back like I don't know 20 yards.
Yes.
Guy trips him up as he's falling. He turns.
Yes.
Snaps his just boom. And it's a perfect ball.
Yeah.
Of course, the receiver like doesn't catch it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just like, dude, he couldn't do any more.
Yeah, it was slightly, just a little bit overthrown, but like he did everything. Like you saw, like the ball players are dropping the ball, hitting on his head. The guy is just out here. He's just out there running. The guy probably ran like a marathon. I bet.
He probably felt like it. I mean,
just probably just running. And mind you, he had a bum foot. Like
yeah.
He get surgery.
But he wasn't playing like it though. I mean, I wouldn't even make that as an excuse for why he lost. I mean, he was still playing his butt off. But yeah, offensive line failed him. The refs were helping Tom Brady. And don't even get me started on this stuff with him and I forget his name. I think it's like Matthew or something.
Oh, Tyrann Mathieu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what made me mad, right? So yeah. And it was documented that like Tom Brady was talking trash to him too. But of course, Tom Brady talks trash. I see the tweets the next day. Oh, that's just the GOAT talking trash. My man talks trash back to Tom Brady. 15-yard penalty. For what? For what? They're both going at each other. Like I hate when the refs get in on that. Like the players are going to talk trash. It's going to happen, man.
Yeah.
It happens in sports.
I remember the one time when, we've made rules for Tom Brady. The tuck rule, right? I remember one time like a player like accidentally like fell like close to his feet. Tom Brady looked at the guy, he says, "Throw a flag," and he got the flag thrown. Like,
yeah,
yeah, man. But even with everything, right? With the refs, with the Deflategate, with everything, tuck rule, like we can't deny that.
So that's what gets me too. Like that's why I'm just like I'm tired of this dude. Like no matter what happens, Deflategate.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the man was involved in a cheating scandal. And it's still like, oh, it's just good old Tom.
Well,
good
what about Spygate?
Spygate too. I mean, it's just,
Yeah, no, I hear you. So from a disgruntled Saints fan to a disgruntled like
Eagles fan,
you guys had it worse this year, right? I mean, I hear you guys are trying to trade your quarterback. It was a Carson Wentz, yeah.
Man, listen. I guess since we're off the Super Bowl, well, first before we get off the Super Bowl, so game was trash.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the halftime show?
I mean, sure. I had no strong feelings for it. Like, I mean, The Weeknd is. I mean, I don't listen to enough of his music to really appreciate him. I mean, I didn't think it was bad. I mean, that meme that there was a meme moment of him looking through the maze or whatever, and there's a bunch of memes about that on Instagram and whatnot.
Yeah, I saw it. They did one with Patrick Mahomes. They put his face on it.
Yeah, so there's stuff like that. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I have no strong.
So this is my thing, right? It was like The Weeknd. I think I like The Weeknd's music. Yeah. First of all, I do like The Weeknd's music. But it's like everybody's making it like if you're not Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Prince, if your performance wasn't somewhere in that stratosphere, then you were sorry, you were terrible. So I don't think that his performance was that bad. I just don't think that like as a singer, maybe his music like wasn't meant for that stage, right? Because he started singing in I think he was singing Starboy, but I had no idea what he was saying. Right? It's like if you didn't know the song already, then you had no idea. And he had like a lot of energy, and he was like singing it real fast. I'm like, do I want to keep up with you? Because I like the song, but it was kind of tough. So I think it was average. I mean, I wasn't like wowed by it, but I think that a lot of the criticism on it.
Yeah, I wasn't. I don't have any really hard like opinions pro for it. I didn't know people thought it was trash. That's for sure. So I wasn't paying attention to that at all. But like maybe to your point, he doesn't have the clout as a Beyonce or a Prince, or even a Lady Gaga that did it a couple years ago, right?
But I
So
don't think he needs. I'm not saying he has to have that clout, but like Beyonce and Prince and Michael Jackson and people like that, like they're amazing performers. Like you're going to get an amazing show, right? But everybody isn't going to have that energy like that.
well,
Like everybody's going to give you that.
but the people that you're using an example, Beyonce, Prince, Michael Jackson. I mean, they're considered they're number one considered the greatest of their time, right?
Exactly.
Greatest
Yes.
artist, right?
Yeah.
And they're the greatest performers of their time.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
But people are like, if you didn't match that, then it's just too harsh. Like, what did you think of last year's? Wasn't it J-Lo and Shakira?
Yes.
Were you like amazed by that?
Well, I mean,
aside from just looking at J-Lo and Shakira, right? Aside from just that, like obviously, but like as a performance, I was just like, it's high.
I saw it differently. J-Lo looks amazing for her age, so does Shakira.
Of course.
They're shaking things around, and that's like out of court. So yeah.
You had who else? What's another recent one?
So Lady Gaga was recent, but back to Shakira and J-Lo. Like I think what I liked about their performance though was it was an embracement of Hispanic culture, right? And that's
they were definitely repping the culture
a lot. So that's something I appreciate. Another good one I thought was somewhat recent, was Lady Gaga. I think she was like the year before that, maybe.
I might have to look up some. Let's look up some. Let's do like the last 5. Let's say last 5 Super Bowl halftime performances.
Okay.
I feel like we need to judge the weekend at least based on the last couple of performance. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up. We kind of need it
look
here.
Up the last 5 real quick, because we're I just think sometimes people are just being like too harsh on some of these people. Like think about I know Big Boy did one year, right?
Who?
Big Boy from Outkast. I think he did the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
Yeah. Okay. I got it pulled up here. Just pulled up my trusty fan Wikipedia. I'm just gonna go down to the 2000s. My computer's running slow. Okay. So we had The Weeknd, right? Shakira. Okay. Here's a forgettable one. Maroon 5.
I mean.
So I will say this though. They had Travis Scott and your boy Big Boy was there, right?
So yeah.
So I think that was in Atlanta. That was in Atlanta, so that's why Big Boy's there, right?
Yeah. So I think theirs was okay. I thought it was all right.
I actually like Maroon 5. I didn't remember it, so but I
like Maroon 5. I like some of their music, but I didn't think that I do remember some of their performance. I mean, I wasn't amazed by it. Yeah. I was not amazed by it.
So we had so just keep in mind too, the halftime show changed after the Justin Timberlake Janet Jackson situation. So
yeah.
So but yeah, so
that was a great performance though.
So all right. So what about Justin Timberlake? He was prior to that.
That was him by himself, right?
By himself. I think they said They said the Tennessee Kids and the Minnesota marching band, University of Minnesota marching band. This is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I remember the only thing I remember about that one was people being kind of upset that he got a second chance to perform and not like
Exactly. I know I was.
yeah. Um. So this one was next one after that, Lady Gaga. I actually thought it was a pretty good performance. Um. So it was by herself. I remember this one that she got a little bit beef because I guess she had a little flub on her stomach, which I thought she looked great, by the way. But this is kind of the
She had a
culture.
what on her stomach?
Well, like she was a little she didn't have six pack abs. That's what it was. She didn't have a six.
Oh man, I hate when people do that stuff, man.
Exactly right. I thought she looked great, right? But
Yeah.
people kind of made a deal out of that. I thought actually that was a memorable performance for me. So
Okay.
yeah. Um, this one was Coldplay. So Coldplay, I think, was a great performance, not just because of Coldplay, but that also brought Beyonce, Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars killed it.
Yeah, Bruno Mars,
Bruno
Beyonce. It
Mars
was
killed it.
Coldplay for a little bit, and then I think Beyonce kind of did her thing, and it was kind of like a
That's
nod.
when she did the
Like,
formation thing, right?
yeah, it was kind of a nod to like the movement, the Black Lives
Black
Matter.
Panther movement.
Yeah, and yeah, Black Panther movement, and I'm sure it's like some conservative, like I think I'm sure Lauren Toma, whatever her name is, got upset because of
Oh,
course.
screw that. Yeah.
Um, previous to that, Katy Perry. That Axel had guest as Lenny Kravitz, Missy Elliott. And Arizona.
Misty Elliott did a
That
good
was a
job.
good.
Lenny Kravitz did a pretty good job.
Yeah, that was a good one. The meme of Left Shark came out for that one. I remember.
I don't even remember that.
But I also remember like kids not knowing who Missy Elliott was.
That was like, yeah.
I remember people like, "Oh, Katy Perry brought out a new artist, Missy Elliott," and I'm like,
no, more like the other way around.
We're old.
Yeah, we're old. Congratulations. You're not cool anymore. Okay. So I mean, so
yeah.
with that,
I'll do two.
I don't
more.
think
I'll
The
do two more.
Weeknd was that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I'll do a
that
couple more. Bruno Mars with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Beyonce with Destiny's Child, and Madonna with like a whole bunch of other people: LMFAO, Cirque du Soleil, Nicki Minaj, MIA, CeeLo Green, Andy Lewis, and a bunch of high school bands and university band. I remember that one because that's when MIA flipped off the camera.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch some of these.
Yeah.
Things that happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, there you go. Again, Weekend wasn't that bad. I mean, he's following up. There's a lot of good talent.
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah, there is. I mean, there always is, but again, it's like because it was like they went too safe sometimes, and they were trying to like satisfy everybody with some of the artists that they pick. Because
Yeah.
I would look at the lineup sometime, and I would just be like Coldplay, Super Bowl. Their music doesn't really give me hype. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's why they added some of those other artists to perform with them.
Yeah.
So, all right. All right.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'll be honest with you too. A little bit off topics with switching topics with the Super Bowl. Like I haven't watched football a lot this season, just because of like all that's going on with the NFL and kind of how they treated things. And beginning of the season started off with like the players kneeling for just in solidarity for the social justice reform, and they got booed by like the fans.
Yeah.
In Kansas City, actually.
Yeah.
So I was kind of
we talked about that.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I don't feel that. Oh, by the way, Rosa Parks had a birthday earlier this month, so happy belated birthday, Rosa Parks. Thank you for all you've done. But yeah, I haven't really been watching football this year, and yeah, I still kept up with it, being a little bit hypocritical on my end, right? Because I am a Saints fan. I do follow the Saints.
Right.
And I kept up with it, but like with COVID going on and just people just not caring, like I kind of felt like we didn't deserve football, but kept up with it. That being said, let's talk about us as our fans of our teams, right? And I mean, do you want to go first, or you want to go first? It's like a.
I can go first. So yes, I'm an Eagles fan. For anybody watching out there, I'm sure you see me with my Eagles jersey. I wear my jersey or some
Stop you
Eagles
right there. I love how you said
paraphernalia.
yes, I'm an Eagles fan. It's kind of like you're an Alcoholics Anonymous, like one of those weekly.
It is.
Yes, I'm an Eagles fan.
This season, I feel like I am, man, because I just keep coming back for more, and I'm just constantly disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, so obviously 3 years ago, won the Super Bowl. Definitely big highlight for the city of Philadelphia and for me.
Backup quarterback.
With the backup quarterback and over Tom Brady. Okay, we got that back since we lost the first one to him.
Nice.
But and it's like after that, it's just been downhill. And we made all this noise about Carson Wentz, which, you know, when he came out, he looked great. He had the MVP caliber season in 2017. But he just hasn't been able to stay healthy. Two, it's been a steady decline.
Yeah.
Every year. And at first I didn't want to put it all on him because it was like our receivers are just sad or hurt. So, you know, Deshaun Jackson got hurt, and he had and it was like the guys that are taking his place are like all backups. Like, and I mean, they're okay, they're serviceable, but we were missing that speed, right? Mm-hmm. So fast forward to now, you draft Jalen Hurts in the first round, and I'm shocked by the move, but then at the same time, it's like I kind of understand because our other backup was Nate Sudfeld, who's sorry. He's just sorry.
Yeah.
Right? And you let Nick Foles go because, hey, I'm betting the farm on Carson Wentz. I just paid him all this money. So again, it was an interesting pick. I understood it. Is it a pick that I would have made? No, because we needed to address our needs at wide receiver. We have no receivers. We have old receivers and guys that have just been getting hurt. We needed some wide receivers, needed some fresh meat. And so this season, I mean, Carson has thrown, he threw like just a ton of interceptions. Passer rating was terrible. And it got to the point where I was like, all right, we're finally going to put in Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts lights a fire under the team. He's able to get a couple of wins, you know, not able to win everything. He's still a rookie, still learning. But it was just like watching him play. I mean, the O-line isn't able to really protect Wentz. Wentz is like trying to play this hero type football. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's like, dude, just throw it away sometimes. Take the sack, take the loss. Like, stop trying to do all this crazy stuff.
Well, he's trying to be Patrick Mahomes.
You can't throw. It's like, you're not Mahomes, man. And so at the end of the season, you fire Doug Peterson, the guy who won you a Super Bowl. You got to the Super Bowl because of coaching, right? Because only a good coach would have been able to take somebody like Nick Foles at the end of the season and turn him into a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, somebody who could win. You won the Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. Yeah. That is coaching, my friend.
Yeah. Well, let me ask this. So, a couple things. So, Jalen Hurts, starters, like, so me growing up in Louisiana, following LSU, right? I've seen him play. He's not a passer quarterback, right? So I was kind of a little bit shocked when they picked up Jalen Hurts, but I was even more shocked when he started like kind of winning for him, right? So he's not a passing quarterback. But that being said, though, like last game of the season, it seemed like they weren't trying to win that game because they benched Jalen Hurts for like the other guy that you said. And Doug Peterson, that was Doug Peterson's like this decision. And I think he lost the locker room when he did that, which is crazy because he won them a Super Bowl. But
I mean, so I don't know whose decision it was, right? Because that might have came from on high. You never know. The owner might have made that call from the box. Put the other kid in. I want to get this pick. We need to position ourselves for this pick. You know what I mean? But was it a trashy move? Yes, right? You're supposed to be competitive to the last game of the season. And I think that was when we could have kept, I think it was prevented like the Redskins from winning the division or prevented somebody from winning. I forget.
Yeah.
And I say I forget because I just wanted to put the season behind me. Like, well, once I realized nothing was happening, I stopped paying attention.
Well, it's a trash division anyway. Like the whole division.
But we should have owned it. Like we were coming in, we were the best team in the division. We were. but it was like we were just Carson Wentz was just trash. So then now you come to the point you fire the coach. Okay, you decide to blame the coach. Now and that essentially says you're betting the farm on Carson Wentz again, right? And so let's get to the coach that they hire. So one of my favorite Eagles players from back in the day was Deuce Staley as the running back. Mm-hmm. He wasn't like a great running back or whatever, but he did good. He was serviceable. Stayed with the organization as a running backs coach. He gets promoted to like a assistant coach or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. They, instead of giving him a job, or at least giving him some sort of promotion, they interview him, let him go. Eric Bieniemy from Kansas City, the offensive coordinator, the guy who's running the best offense in the league. You interview him. You don't hire him. No, we're going to hire Nick Sirianni, somebody who has done like nothing. You've done nothing in the league. Well, I mean, what was he? I don't want to look it up on my phone because I have something else saved for later on.
Yeah.
But like, he hasn't done anything in the league. Like, what makes him so deserving of this head coaching position? Because he's an assistant to Frank Reich, who, was the guy that Carson Wentz was successful under. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know what that means? That it doesn't mean anything. Like,
it almost just seems like they're trying to like cater to Carson Wentz a little bit. But I mean, what you talk about, and I'm assuming like some of the other coaches that you mentioned were, well, I mean, I don't know, was the Kansas City head coach, offensive coordinator, he's black, right?
Yep.
So, that's a problem with the NFL, right?
Yes.
And when we're talking, and so I forgot to mention this earlier too. And Jamel Hill said something like totally amazing, because during like the Super Bowl they had a like some performative commercial about like social justice and all that stuff, right? And Jamel Hill kind of chimed in and was like, yeah, just remember that they have less black coaches now than they did, right? And it's because of like and there's this thing called like the Rooney Rule, where you have to
interview a person.
You have to interview a black coach, and you can tell teams are just doing it now just to kind of check that box.
Yes.
Right. Like the Rooney Rule was supposed to be just to kind of help with the diversity problems, and you can just tell it's more just a performative action. It makes me wonder if the NFL is really wants to actually try to solve this issue, right? Of less black leaders. Well, she also mentioned like there are no black owners, right? So, yeah, just I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. And there were there were definitely some other candidates. I just didn't remember their names because I was so upset about because I really thought that they were going to hire like Deuce Staley, because I thought that having been he was in Doug Peterson's group of coaches, like he was there when we won the Super Bowl. He's been there for a while. Like it was his time to get an opportunity, right? And players were saying, "Hey, Deuce Staley could be that guy." You know what I mean? But instead, you get this guy. And I saw his press conference the other day. He sounded like an idiot. It sounded like an idiot.
So I saw that, and that was freaking hilarious. The way we're gonna keep things simple but complicated for the other teams, but we got to keep it simple before it's complicated. But it's gonna be simple to us, and it's like. And you say you found a couple black coaches that are better than this, right? So it's
what?
It's
and then so they say that they're hired. This is a hire to make Carson Wentz happy. Now Carson Wentz talking about I still want to leave. It's either Carson Wentz is saying I still want to leave, or the Eagles are just trying to shop him around to see if they can trade him. Supposedly they might trade him to the Chicago Bears. But obviously, yeah, we're rebuilding, and it's just like we just gave up. You got rid of all the best pieces. Back when we hired Chip Kelly, we had all this talent. We had an insane amount of talent after we fired Andy Reid. That was when you had Shady McCoy, you had Deshaun Jackson, you had I forgot the other guy that was playing on the other side of Deshaun as a receiver. Crazy talent. And you know what they did? They bring in Chip Kelly, who lets all of them go.
Because he's trying to run his offense, right? He was trying to run his offense that he got from Oregon, right? And Oregon, they run this super quick offense, right?
I mean, I saw it. It was different, but he was trying to say that it's the system, not the players, which is total BS. You need good players.
It's the players.
That's why he's not there anymore.
I mean, I let me tell you right now, his system got success, but he never brought him a championship. Like he'll go up against like an SEC school and he'll get waxed, right?
Yeah,
because it's the players, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I'm pissed right now as an Eagles fan. I think every other Eagles fan is pissed. I hope Jalen Hurts gets the starting job because I think that he could be better than Carson Wentz. What I really wanted was for him to kind of come up like Aaron Rodgers did, and kind of just like get his like learn the game real good, and then 2 or 3 years, and then because what the Eagles would do is they give guys like those big contracts or whatever, but it's the NFL. Like they're going to trade him away. They're never going to pay out that huge contract, right?
Yeah.
So I would have gave him like 2 or 3 years and then let Jalen Hurts run the show.
So that's so interesting, right? So we talk about like the NFL not hiring black coaches, right? And the Eagles is a perfect candidate for that, right? Who they end up landing, right? They don't hire black. They don't have black ownership, but it seems like these quarterbacks are getting paid a lot, and a lot of these guys are white. I think Patrick Mahomes is half. He's mixed, and what's dude Deshaun Watson also gets paid a lot of money too. But a lot of these guys are getting paid a lot are white, so it makes me wonder if there's something going on with that as well. To your point, I hope Jalen Hurts wasn't like a great passer, but he did win a lot of games, right? I hope he's not put in a situation to fail, right? Because I think with Aaron Rodgers, he got to sit behind Brett Favre for a while, and they had to like show Brett Favre the door, right?
Yeah.
To let Aaron Rodgers thrive, but he wasn't just thrown there.
Wasn't just thrown to the wolves.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what's gonna happen with Jalen Hurts a little bit. So
if he gets to start like right away, but at the same time, I think I think for one he's a little more durable than Carson Wentz, and when he's in there, it seems like the team responds better.
Yeah.
So because it was like given the same players, obviously they're still throwing to the same players. He having arguably more success than Carson Wentz was having this past season. So.
Yeah.
Between him and Miles Sanders, that's like I do feel good about that. We're getting old on the defensive line and offensive line. Jason Peters getting old. We need some linebackers.
We're supposed to talk about the Super Bowl, but we're really talking about like Nicholas grieving about the Eagles right now.
On my soapbox right now, man. It hurts. It hurts to watch. Like now. The Redskins won the division this year. I'm not even going to say the Washington no names. The Washington no names won the division this year. It's just an embarrassment. Yeah. And with a losing record.
that division is just trash. It's just a horrible division, and you have my condolences. I used to be a huge Eagles fan too when Donovan McNabb was there. So
that was my guy, man.
Yeah, so I love the Eagles. So I love Donovan McNabb, even though he kind of had a bad falling off after the Eagles, and I think he's trying to make it in the Hall of Fame now. I don't know how that's gonna work.
He doesn't have the resume.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate for him because I really like the guy. But yeah, we can talk.
So hold on.
Okay.
So let me go back to what you were saying about the quarterbacks, though.
Yeah.
So I think you were implying that like white quarterbacks get paid more, and that may or may not be true. Um,
It's
but the one thing I have noticed is that there are a lot more black players in the position these days. Um,
to play quarterback.
but yeah, but it seems like it is easier for like if you're a mediocre white quarterback, it's easier for you to get picked up, right?
Yeah.
Which is why Colin Kaepernick still isn't in the league.
Yeah. And that's yeah. And let's talk
I
about
mean,
Colin Kaepernick
you
about the
know,
Super Bowl
it.
because the Super Bowl they had this super performative commercial, right?
Yeah,
While we have problems with lack of black coaches, lack of black ownership, and they're talking about this like racial like justice social movement. The one guy you need to thank is
yeah,
Colin Kaepernick, right?
yeah,
Not
yeah,
mentioned at all, right?
yeah.
Because he said this what 4 5 years ago,
I
kneeling.
mean, I think they're just doing it to save face at this
Oh
point.
yeah, it's
You know?
performative. It's totally performative, right?
Yeah,
Totally performative. So we have to be like mindful of that, and I just know that this is just them, like you said, they're saving face, being performative. It doesn't actually embark change. You're kind of just throwing money, just kind of how they got rid of the CTE scandal by just throwing money at it. They're doing the same thing
yeah.
here, right? So, um, yeah, it's unfortunate, and yeah, uh, I don't know the actual stats with like black and like white quarterbacks, right? I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes, I think is half black, half white, uh, and I think other prominent quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson, who's looking for a trade. Um, I
The
think
Texans did him wrong, man.
the Treasures did him hugely wrong.
They did him wrong. I don't blame
Yeah,
him. I
but
hope he
he
gets
gets paid a
somewhere.
lot of money. He gets paid.
He deserves it.
Of course, he's a great quarterback. Um, Also, we can talk Saints. Jameis Winston. I think we might be trying to get him. Yeah,
Y'all have him. Y'all
yeah.
have
I
him.
mean, we're trying to get him. Like he's a free agent. I think they're trying to re-sign him, right?
I mean,
So
all you have is that. Well, you have Drew Brees is gone. So I mean, that's your guy
he's
now.
not gone yet. He's not gone yet. So now we're on the Saints. So let's talk Saints. Oh God. So like I said, I didn't really watch football this year's season. I am not a great football like pundit. So to anyone who's watching, I apologize, but I will I will just tell you what I know. So I was though I did not watch football as much this season, I did keep up. I would like keep track of the scores. I even sometimes like will have the score on in the sideway, on like on the side, like
Yeah.
while I'm working or something. And it kind of shows how like how a little hypocritical I'm being while I'm saying I'm like not watching football but kind of keeping up with the sport. But anyway, I mean whatever. I'm being a little hypocritical. It's fine. But one thing with Drew Brees, let's talk Drew Brees for a second. Um, the city of New Orleans like loves him, right? And he said something like just not very smart in the summer, right? About like disrespecting
Yeah.
flag XYZ, and he got just waxed for it, right? And like,
He deserved it too.
oh, he deserved it. He deserved it. I think I may have talked about this on this podcast or not, but like, yeah, that's just not cool, and he deserved it. And but to his credit, right? Whether he was forced or he chose to, right? He kind of rallied around his team. He learned more. He had like a Breonna Taylor say her name jersey on and hats and kind of did those things. Of course, maybe those were performative, right? But he even like spoke up against like Donald Trump, saying like, "Hey, it's not about the flag." Well, Donald Trump's like, "Oh, these guys are disrespecting the flag," and he responded back to them saying, "Hey," back to Trump saying, "This is not about the flag; it's about X, Y, and Z," right? So, like love hate relationship. If you choose to hate Drew Brees, still, I mean, I'm not going to blame you. I'm trying to be more forgiving. But Drew Brees is older. He's not as old as Tom Brady, but he's fairly old. I would have loved, and Drew Brees has brought the Saints our first and only Super Bowl, right after
Yep.
like the flood, and I remember that watching that game and just kind of this euphoric feeling that
Of
I had,
course.
of
Yeah.
winning our first Super Bowl in such a long time. Because if you were a longtime Saints fan, right, I was there with like when we had the paper bags over our heads, right? I was there when we had all this talent, but just couldn't put it to wins and winning playoff games. I remember
Yeah.
like one of the greatest Saints plays ever was with Aaron Brooks, and it's kind of one of those like pitch and lateral plays to like win the game. Like so, Aaron Brooks like threw the ball. Someone caught it. Someone pitched a lateral back. Just use the kind of last seconds of time going out, and like Aaron Brooks like eventually throws like the block of his life, right? And it's
Right.
like get the touchdown, and they need an extra point to tie it, and they missed the extra point. And that's just typical Saints. I remember all this stuff and all the heartache. But Drew Brees, Sean Payton, that culture, they changed that. And so, like, I really want the Drew Brees to kind of have this year. Like, so Tom Brady is like right behind Drew Brees when it comes to like I think touchdowns, right? I think they're like only a couple behind each other, right? Um, but Drew Brees, like sometimes you have like a great game and sometimes you'll have like crappy games, and he's having more bad games than good games. Like the games where you expect him to be good in the playoffs, last 2 years he hasn't been that great,
Yep.
unfortunately. And
He threw what, like 3 picks
yeah, I think 2 or 3 picks.
in
Like actually, one of the best throws in like their playoff loss to Tampa Bay was by Jameis Winston, like who threw a touchdown,
Yeah. Yeah.
like a
Yep.
54-yard touchdown. He can't get the ball down the field anymore. So part of me wants Drew Brees to stay to protect his legacy because I think he partially deserves that, right? Um, and I like him as a person and a human being, even though he said some messed up crap earlier, which kind of hard to get past. But like, part of me kind of wants him to kind of preserve that legacy of like goat all-time passes. But if you also see the types of injuries, like apparently the guy had 12 cracked ribs,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
12, like.
Yep.
And that's just like half of it. Like apparently shoulder problems, all sorts of problems, like pretty much problems you expect of a guy who's 40 playing football with like 20 and early 30-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
Part of me wants him like just to take care of himself, right? So
Yeah.
like you've done New Orleans proud. You have a wife, you have kids, like people love you, like definitely take care of yourself, right? So yeah, I don't know. It looks like he's on his way out. It looks like we're gonna have like Jameis Winston as our
It's got to be exciting.
quarterback. Um,
Yeah.
he's a gunslinger. He
That's what
apparently
you want to call it.
he apparently got LASIK surgery like after he left Tampa Bay. I don't know if you heard that story. Like after Tampa Bay like let him go, like he got LASIK surgery. So like we have him with like better eyesight now. So yeah, we'll see how he goes. He also does this weird thing about eating wins, where he like make this W sign and like choose on like it's weird. I don't know why he does it, but yeah, let's see how Jameis Winston does. So hopefully he does well. Um, those less interceptions. Um,
I
I
think y'all are headed just like
think
us,
the Saints
man.
have a win
Rebuilding
now
time.
offense. They have a win now team. Like their defense is pretty solid. Um, Alvin Kamara is a great running back. Have great wide receiver. Like they just need. I'm sorry we couldn't make it work with Breeze, but I really wanted him to beat Tom Brady. I really wanted him to beat Tom Brady this year. They beat him twice already this year, and he just lost him in the playoffs. I will argue
Yeah.
that they had a lot of hurt players.
I mean, the fact that, look, Brady got past Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers on his way to the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
that's the one thing where I'm just like, you got to give it to him. Even though Aaron Rodgers kind of didn't. Aaron Rodgers and his coach shot themselves in the foot in that game. They were right down there at the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
The coach decides not to go for it on fourth down and kicks a field goal. Worst move ever. The play before that, Aaron Rodgers decides to try to force a pass. I forget who was throwing it to. I promise you, all he had to do was run, and he would have made it into the end zone, or at least got it to like the 1 inch mark so they could run it in.
Sneak.
Two plays. Gave it to Tom Brady. It's like the football guys are like, no, like no matter what, Tom Brady must get to the Super Bowl. And y'all know what happens. I mean, you know.
Yeah. No, I even go so argue to say like so in the Saints they had a lot of hurt players as well too. Like Taysom Hill, I think had to like not play because I think he had COVID or some COVID protocol, or was it some injury? I'm not sure. He couldn't play.
That's your guy, Taysom Hill. That's the guy that
is he though? I mean, because he
is the truth. He can do anything. He can do everything.
But so that's the thing. But is he a quarterback? Is he a full-time?
He's everything. He's everything.
He's like he's like was it Cordell Stewart like Slash?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, so he started a couple games this season, right? Not Jameis Winston with him. He started a couple games this season when Drew Brees was out hurt, and he didn't really perform that well. I think there was one game where he didn't even throw he threw maybe a couple, maybe 5 or 6 passes, and they still blasted the Broncos because the Broncos was garbage. So, yeah. I mean, look, he's good at everything. He'll give you wildcat. He'll throw the ball for you once in a while. He can do a receiver block. He can do everything. I don't think he's good at. It's kind of like master of every. I mean, good at everything, master of none. Right.
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. But I need you to be the master at quarterback, right? I don't think he's a master at quarterback. So, yeah, I think it's gonna be Jameis Winston. I think he's the guy.
You better hope not. Hey, I'll trade you Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep. Y'all gonna have problems trading Carson Wentz.
The Bengals will take on that money, but what I'm hearing is that the Bears have some interest. But my thing is, okay, if you were going to trade Carson Wentz, which that's why I feel like I'm not really believing the rumors too much, because if you desired to trade Carson Wentz, why would you hire that shitty ass coach? Right? Why would you do that? You hired a nobody. You might as well have brought in me to coach the team so that I could make Omar my assistant coach. Might as well have done that. Why don't you just bring in me? I've never played a down of organized football in my life.
So again, sorry guys, it's supposed to be about the Super Bowl, but it's Nicholas complaining about the Eagles.
We discussed the Super Bowl.
I'm sorry. You got my condolences. I don't know what to tell you, man.
I don't even know. I don't even know if I'm gonna be wearing any of my Eagle stuff next season when I watch the games. I'm just gonna be whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah. Good luck next year. We'll see where we are next year as the Saints with Jameis Winston. God, I really wanted him to beat Tom Brady. I
wanted Aaron Rodgers. I was really looking forward to Green Bay Packers Chiefs Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers. I love watching Aaron Rodgers play, man.
Yeah.
I love watching him play.
Yeah. Back a little bit to the Super Bowl. We jumping topics all over the place. Forgot to mention. So Chiefs had. We're talking about black coaches, right? Chiefs had a number of black coaches, and I think a female coach as well. On their staff.
I think you mean the Bucks. Right?
Yes, the Bucks. I'm sorry. Yeah, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay had a couple black coaches, and I think a female coach. I need to look this up.
I think she's an assistant, and they have the first female ref.
Yeah.
To ref the Super Bowl. So shouts to her.
Yeah.
Definitely big shouts to her, and shouts to the Bucks for those hires too. But I bet you none of them will ever see a head coaching position.
Probably not.
Not one of them.
Probably not.
So I
Are they
mean,
willing to try to fix the problem?
yeah,
I don't
there's a
know.
ceiling, so we'll see who breaks it.
Yeah.
Because now I think right now there's only I think it's just Mike Tomlin, right? Is there anybody else? Because I think the guy that was coaching the Chargers, I think he got fired. I'm not sure.
You might be right. I can't think of anyone else that's a head coach that's black. Hmm. Yeah. No, that's it.
Right?
Um, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, NFL, you gotta do better. You gotta do better. Now, my favorite sport, basketball, they're kind of in the same boat too. Where they, even though they have a lot of these progressive actions and whatnot, and allowing their players to speak, when it comes to head coaching, lack of black head coaches, that's actually gone down over the years. So yeah, what are you
I
gonna
have to I have to take a look at the league for that. I know there's a few out there.
Yeah, there's
But,
definitely a few, but it's definitely not as much as it used to be.
okay.
Like it definitely, case in point, Steve Nash being the head coach of Brooklyn Nets. So,
Yeah.
and I love Steve Nash as a player, right?
I didn't really. I mean, he must have had a hell of a presentation.
I don't think he had much
But
of a presentation. I don't.
we'll see. Because I mean, well, hopefully he's good enough coach to get them boys to play some defense on the Nets. Because I mean, their games are like 149 to 146. Like it's insane.
And they're losing to teams like the Washington Wizards and the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're
Yeah.
talking basketball now, but yeah, I don't know if you have anything else you want to talk about with football.
Nope. I'm ready to get to my Black History fact
Oh yes, yes.
of the episode. So I did a little research. I'm trying to find stuff that you may not have heard. You know, everybody knows oh, black person invented this or that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I was curious about some of the stuff in Black Panther and curious about what some of that stuff was based on. So it turns out that the group, the Dora Milaje, is actually based on a real group of female warriors from Africa known as the Dahomey Amazons.
Hmm.
And their actual name is the Non-Mitten. I'm probably saying that wrong, which means our mothers. And they're a group of warrior women that lasted until the late 19th century. And so they, just like the Dora Milaje, they were known as the king's wives. So they were kind of known as the king's wives as well. And you know how T'Challa with the Dora Milaje, it was like they're his wives, but he doesn't ever have a relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
But for this group of women, the king could pick one of them to be his wife. But they were well known at the time for being just deadly warriors, amazing warriors. Like the Europeans gave them like a lot of props for their prowess in battle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man.
Thank you. What part of
look that up.
Africa are they from? Do you know?
It said, hold on, I did see that. I believe it was Benin. Are you familiar?
Benin.
Benin. Yeah, Benin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're from Benin. Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So Benin, that's West Africa. That's by Nigeria actually. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Really cool.
Yeah. Only documented all-female warrior team in history.
Bro. So this actually is a great point. If you remember in Black Panther, at the beginning of Black Panther, when Killmonger steals the vibranium shield or whatever, right? The lady thought that it was from Benin, right? I'm about to rewatch the Black Panther game, but I'm pretty sure the lady thought that weapon was from Benin, and he goes, "No, this is actually from Wakanda," right? So yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah, look at them kind of calling it back there. Smart
man,
stuff.
I'm still walking around quoting that movie anyway, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't realize that. Thank you for the Black History fact, man.
Sir.
Ready to wrap this up?
Yeah. Ready to wrap it up. So
Next
Thanks for
episode.
watching. And sorry to interrupt you, man. But
Yeah, let's talk next
uh,
episode.
thanks for watching.